been chosen. Not because you're perfect, not because you understand everything, but because you're here, right now, reading these words. Every generation of Christians has believed they were the ones. The final generation chosen to decode Revelation chapter 20 and its 1,000 years. Early church fathers, medieval monks, reformers, 1800s preachers, they all believed they held the key. And here you are, with that same pull. Maybe stronger than you'd admit, because you've felt it. That surge when prophecy teaching connects current events to Scripture. Your heart races. This is it. We're the generation that will see it all unfold. That late-night scrolling apocalyptic news, thinking, maybe we really are different. Maybe this time it's real. Maybe I've been chosen to live through this. Or that Bible study moment when someone presents their timeline chart and everyone leans forward. If we can just decode this, we'll know. We'll be ready. You want to believe you're special, that your generation holds something others missed. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Every generation before you felt exactly what you're feeling. The same certainty, the same conviction, the same belief that they were different, chosen, finally understanding. And they were all wrong about the timing, every single one. Which raises a question, what if being chosen doesn't mean what you think? What if you're not chosen to decode when, but chosen to understand who God is? What if the key you hold isn't a date, but trust in God whose timing transcends your calculations? Maybe you've also noticed that Sunday when you realize, whether Christ returns tomorrow or 1,000 years from now, I'm held right now. That conversation. What if faithfulness isn't about knowing when, but loving well today? That Scripture moment. What if I've been decoding the future instead of seeing what God reveals about Himself? If you felt both the pull to decode and the whisper that you're asking wrong questions, you're paying attention to something real. The Hebrew concept is Aleph. Understanding what this number means, not mathematically but theologically, might free you from calculating timelines. It might invite you into recognizing the reign you're already living under, the victory already won, the presence already here, not someday, today. You are chosen, but not the way you thought. Chosen to stop calculating and start trusting, to stop predicting and start living, to stop demanding dates and start knowing the God who holds all time. That's the key, and you're holding it right now. Rachel sits in my office, seminary notebook open but untouched. 28. First year theology. Came excited about eschatology. End times study. Now exhausted. I thought studying prophecy would give me certainty, she says. Like, if I understood the timeline, I'd know where we are, what's coming. Pause. But every scholar has a different chart. Everyone's certain about different things. What if I've been asking the wrong question? What if prophecy isn't about giving us a timeline, but telling us about God's character? This is where prophecy teaching fails. It treats numbers like mathematics, like God is giving data to decode. But here's what shifts when you understand what 1,000 means in Hebrew. The word is Aleph. Yes, it can mean 1,000, but its root meaning is deeper. Aleph relates to family or clan, a unit beyond precise counting, representing fullness, completion, abundance beyond measure. When Hebrew poetry wanted to express something beyond counting, beyond comprehension, it used Aleph. not exactly 1,000, but more than you can track, longer than you can wait, larger than you can imagine. Psalm 50:10. God owns cattle on 1,000 hills. Exactly 1,000, or all of them, more than you could count. Deuteronomy 7:9. God keeps covenant for 1,000 generations, precisely 1,000, or longer than you can imagine, more faithful than you can measure. Aleph isn't a number you calculate. It's a number pointing beyond calculation. When Revelation uses 1,000 years, it's this same Hebrew concept, not calendar dates, but something about God's reign that numbers can't capture. Rachel's eyes widen. So we've been trying to calculate something never meant to be calculated? Exactly. Treating prophecy like a puzzle when it was always a window into who God is. This is permission to stop calculating and start wondering. Watch how this pattern appears throughout Scripture. Start in Psalm 90. Moses is writing about time, how brief human life is compared to God's eternality. And he writes, 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by, or like a watch in the night. Moses is expressing something beyond human time categories. God exists outside time. What feels like forever to us is a blink to him. This isn't math. It's poetry reaching for what words can barely capture. Then watch 2 Peter chapter 3. Peter is writing to people losing hope. Jesus hasn't returned. Time keeps passing. And Peter says, with the Lord a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. He takes Moses' image and flips it. Why? Because he's not giving us a conversion rate. He's saying, stop measuring God's timing by your calendar. What seems like delay might be patience, giving more people time to turn toward him. The 1,000 years means you can't calculate when God will act, but you can trust he's not late. And then we get to Revelation 20. Satan bound for 1,000 years. Saints reigning for 1,000 years. And immediately people want to plot this on timelines. When does it start? When does it end? But what if John is doing what Moses did, what Peter did? Using 1,000 years not as calendar entry, but expressing this is the age of Christ's reign. Longer than you expected, more complete than you imagined, more secure than you feared. When Christ defeated death at resurrection, he inaugurated a reign beyond measure. The church has been living in this 1,000 years since Christ rose. Not because it's been exactly 1,000 years, it's been over 2,000 calendar years, but because we're living in the age of his unmeasured reign. Satan's power is bound, not eliminated, but limited. The saints reign with Christ, not in some future millennium, but now, where his kingdom breaks through. And one day, not on a date we can calculate, this age will culminate. The 1,000 years isn't a date. It's the description of an era defined by Christ's victory. This is the revelation that changes everything. We've been trying to predict when something will happen that's already happening. We've been trying to calculate the timeline of a reign that exists outside timeline. The question isn't, when will the 1,000 years begin? The question is, do you recognize the reign you're already living under? Satan's power is real but limited. You're not at the mercy of chaos. You're living in the age of Christ's authority. Not someday. Now. Death has been defeated. Not in the future. At the resurrection, the reign has already begun. And knowing this, really knowing this, changes how you wait, how you hope, how you live. Tuesday morning. This is permission to stop calculating and start living. 3 months after that conversation, Rachel walks into my office again. Different energy. Still has the notebook, but marked up with different notes. I stopped trying to chart the timeline, she says. Started asking not when, but what does this reveal about God? Pause. I realized I'd been so focused on predicting the future that I was missing the present. Christ's reign is already here. I'm already living in it. What changed? My relationship with uncertainty. I don't need to know the date. I need to know the God who holds all dates. Here's what's happening in our culture. We're addicted to certainty. Not truth. Certainty. We want certainty about politics, health, relationships, the future. We'll accept false certainty over honest uncertainty. Prophecy charts offer illusion of control. But the cost? We lose capacity for trust, the kind that lives with not knowing the answer but knowing who holds it. We lose patience, knowing exactly when makes waiting intolerable. We lose presence. Decoding what's coming means missing what God does now. The 1,000 years challenges our certainty addiction. God says, you can't calculate this, can't control it by knowing in advance. But you can trust me. Rest in my timing. Live fully in this moment because I hold all moments coming. This is the permission you're allowed to take. So what does the 1,000 years reveal about God's character? God is patient beyond measure. When 2 Peter says, 1,000 years are like a day, he adds, the Lord is not slow. Instead, he is patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish. What looks like delay is patience. What feels like waiting is mercy, giving people time to come home. God measures time by redemption, not calendar. This changes everything about waiting. Rachel said, I thought understanding prophecy would help me prepare for the future, but it helped me trust in the present. Once you understand God measures time differently, 1,000 years like a day like 1,000 years, you stop demanding answers on your timeline. You stop calculating when prayers will be answered. You stop measuring whether God is late. You stop treating waiting as wasted. And over time, not all at once, but gradually the way healing always happens, you'll notice something shifting. The headlines won't control you the way they used to. The uncertainty won't paralyze you the way it once did. The waiting won't feel like wasted time, but like sacred space where God is working in ways you couldn't see if you were busy calculating. You'll find yourself more present, more at peace, more able to notice where Christ's kingdom is breaking through today, instead of constantly scanning the horizon for what's coming tomorrow. You'll discover that faithfulness isn't about knowing when. It's about loving well now, trusting deeply today, living fully in this moment because this moment, this one right here, is the only moment you're actually given. And you'll realize, maybe for the first time, what it actually means to hold the key to the 1,000-year prophecy. It means you understand that the prophecy isn't primarily about dates you can predict or timelines you can chart. It's about a God whose patience is making room for you right now, whose faithfulness spans generations, whose reign began at the resurrection and continues through this very moment. And the key is knowing Him, trusting Him, resting in Him, not someday when you've figured it all out. Today, this moment. this breath, you'll find yourself more present, more at peace, more able to notice where Christ's kingdom is breaking through today instead of constantly scanning the horizon for what's coming tomorrow. You'll discover that faithfulness isn't about knowing when. It's about loving well now, trusting deeply today, living fully in this moment because this moment, this one right here, is the only moment you're actually given. And you'll realize, maybe for the first time, what it actually means to hold the key to the 1,000-year prophecy. It means you understand that the prophecy isn't primarily about dates you can predict or timelines you can chart. Instead, what is God doing this moment that I'm missing because I'm focused on what's coming? And here's what this means, practically. The prophecy isn't primarily about predicting dates. It's about revealing character, God's character and yours. Your faith isn't measured by how well you decode the timeline. It's measured by how you live in the reign that's already begun. You don't need certainty about when Christ will return. You need trust in the one who promised he would, and who has never broken a promise, even when his timing looked like delay. The reign has already begun. Satan's power is already limited. Death is already defeated. The kingdom is already breaking through. Not someday. Now, in the places where you choose trust over certainty, where you choose presence over prediction, where you choose to live in the already of Christ's victory instead of constantly calculating the not yet. This is the freedom the 1,000 years offers. Not a date you can circle on a calendar, but a reign you can live under today, this moment, this breath you're taking right now. God's timing is beyond your measuring, and instead of being threatening, that's the most comforting truth you'll ever encounter. Because it means you're held by someone whose patience outlasts your anxiety, whose faithfulness outlasts your doubt, whose plans span beyond what you can see and will accomplish more than you can imagine. You can stop calculating. The one who measures time in thousands of years is the same one who numbers every hair on your head, who knows every moment of your life, who holds every second of human history in his hands. And he's not late. He's patient. And his patience is making room for more people to come home, including you, in this very moment. Tomorrow morning, when you check your phone and see another anxious headline, that's a choice point. You can spiral into calculating where we are on an imagined timeline. Or remember, God's reign is established. Your security doesn't depend on predicting what's coming. This week, when you're waiting and catch yourself demanding to know when, notice that impulse. That's not wisdom, that's certainty addiction. What if you said, I don't need to know when, I need to trust who? What if you chose one prophecy passage? Revelation 20, 2 Peter 3, Psalm 90, and read it not as a puzzle, but as a window into God's character. Not, what does this predict? But, what does this reveal about who God is? Timeline questions lead to speculation. Character questions lead to transformation. Tonight, when your mind races about the future, what's coming, whether you're ready, return to this. 1,000 years in God's sight are like a day, and a day like 1,000 years. Your anxious timeline doesn't bind him. Your waiting isn't wasted. It's where patience does its deepest work. You're not in the dark about the future. You're in the light of the present, the reign that's already begun, the victory already won. The 1,000 years isn't something you're waiting for. It's the age you're living in right now, not with certainty about dates, but confidence in character. Not charts about when, but clarity about who. That's not less than certainty. That's so much more.